welcome back to Total Spotfest. Jamie Faulkner, he's over there. I'm JJ Brownlee. We are coming back at you here. We got a lot of interesting things happening a lot. In the past 72 hours. Woo! I mean, lots of stuff going on. So we're gonna get you guys all back into it. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for listening. We do appreciate you giving us some of your time. Jamie, man, has your week been as crazy as the internet wrestling community's week?
I don't think anything can top that. So no, it's been kind of groovy like a drive-in movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it's. Oh man, we're gonna get all into it here, but it was definitely. I was sitting there watching Twitch, and all of a sudden somebody made mention of something like, "Oh really? Let me go to Twitter real fast." Just fire everywhere, like what? Well, back to just Jamie and I. Hope you guys, if you haven't checked it out, last week we did do a special guest host with us, our friend Austin Reddick, last bar fighter. You can find him on Twitter at Reddit. Fights?
Reddick rules. Rules ass.
I wanted to say that, but then I just totally didn't. But Austin Reddick joined us last week. We had a ton of fun with that. So let us know if you guys like that. We're probably going to have do some more of that this year, most definitely. You have Austin back, maybe some others kind of sit in, and rethinking a little bit of the way we do the interviews, because a lot of times we spend an hour or two talking wrestling and shooting the shit with the people we do interviews with. So we're just like, let's just have them on the show, so
yeah, run through our usual gambit and then they talk about themselves a little bit. It's kind of nice.
Yeah, so let us know if you guys like that here. If you want to join the conversation, drop a comment down below. Hit us up on Twitter at Total Spotfest. Without further ado, Jamie, let's get right to it, because there was one story that has dominated the wrestling world, like I said, over the past week, 72 hours.
Dare say a hostile takeover?
A little bit of one, and then some. So I'll lead us into this here. We're gonna dive, because lots of news, lots of rumors, lots of stuff happening. So it is about WWE. So we made mention previously Vince McMahon trying to get back in. Well, he succeeded in that, sort of. He's back in the board of directors. He's the chief executive of the board of directors. Was able to get his strong arm his way in, wedged out two people so he could bring a couple of his cronies back. Primarily, from everything that I have read and discerned about this, primarily because he is still we made mention before, he wanted to get back in. He felt this would have blown over, right?
Yeah. Him being a complete piece of shit is going to blow over.
But he wanted to get back in because he's the largest stakeholder. And from the start, if you guys have been with us, we, very much have been on the nose about Nick Khan is a guy who comes in, cleans up stuff, and gets it sold, right? He does the whole Gordon Gekko job, and that's what he was brought in to do for WWE. And sure as shit, he moved his way right up that ladder, become co-CEO, and because Vince is the largest stakeholder, he wanted to be involved in media rights and other discussions. Okay. So that was the first bell to drop. What did you have? I mean, I know you said if he ever turns back to creative, there's not a chance in hell you're going to ever watch WWE again.
Correct.
And you're still on that, right?
I didn't watch Friday.
Okay. So even though he's not in creative, he's back there, you're still like, you're out?
Yeah, because I get it. For the most part, the people at WWE, their hands were tied. Except for the board of directors.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he did the stuff in order to get in there. He since he's a majority stock owner, like, his vote carries more. And he was able to strong arm his way back into the board of directors as a director, and then unanimously, which I think that's the other piece, unanimously elected the executive chairman of the board. So that just tells you what kind of spineless pieces of shit WWE has running it.
Mm-hmm.
And it it's terrifying to think about. You know, like some people went back only because Vince was gone.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
William Regal's regretting that decision maybe a little bit, even though his son's there.
William Regal, Mia
Bray
Yim,
Wyatt. Bray
Bray
Wyatt
Wyatt.
definitely is.
Bray Wyatt. I mean, we can go down this list, pretty much everybody that we did the whole what the F, got, you know, best wished, got sent on their merry way over the
Future
past
endeavored.
future endeavor. I can't. I've been out of
Jeez.
it this past week. I have a little thing going on. Anyway, everybody got future endeavored over the past couple years, But yeah, so that was okay. So that was step one.
Step one. Cut a hole in the box.
Step two is putting the junk in the box, or in this case, taking that junk out of the box, seemingly out of nowhere. Letter was released online from Stephanie McMahon saying, "Peace out. I'm gone."
Not only was she going back on her leave of absence, but she's also turning in her resignation.
She's just out. She took a leave of absence because she's doing this other job thing, and that hindsight, that was a test run to see if, hey, can I do this instead of do this? Turns out the answer was yes.
I 100%, and of course, nothing will ever be confirmed. I believe she's probably no longer on speaking terms with her father, finding out the monster that he is. And he came back, and so she pieced out because she doesn't want to be around somebody who maliciously attacked women through decades of his powerous reign.
And I don't disagree with that statement in the least. I will say this: it's interesting, and we have a little group chat amongst Jamie, myself, and a couple of our wrestling friends locally here, and we were chatting about this as it happened, and my take on it was slightly different because I was like, well, now Nick Khan is the sole CEO of WWE, right? Shane O'Mac's been gone for a while. Stephanie's now gone. I don't count Triple H. He married into this shit. There's only one other McMahon there, and he's there, chairman of the board. It's like, it's selling time. It's time to sell the company. Who is it going to be on Amazon Prime or Disney Plus? Where is WWE going to go, right? And I thought it'd take a few weeks before we had anything shake out. It took a few hours before rumors started going hard. So the big thing that fell, which has thus been so far debunked, at least for the most part, was that WWE is going to be sold. They agreed in terms with the Saudi Arabia Public Fund, the Saudis. And
yeah, but
shit went
I don't
wild.
know. Yeah, the internet went berserk when they saw that.
Hard.
I mean, Effie hopped on the bandwagon. I don't know if you heard the
I saw
Effie
Effie's tweet. Yep.
Tweet, and then he also hopped on. It was like people who I don't know about how many people want to work for a place that is going to be owned by people who behead gay people. Like
right.
I thought that was a bit extreme, but
it's not incorrect though. I mean,
yeah, I get the point.
Not fully.
I get the point. And the thought of there's a couple pieces that I read about this. So if the Saudis get it, they're going to take the company completely private. Again,
I've heard that. Yep.
Which has its advantages, for them. But I am legit concerned about WWE, their future, because no one's gonna want to work for them.
No.
at least in the U.S., in my opinion.
Well, they're immediately gonna. The two big thoughts I had was there's gonna be a lot of people who are just showing the door right away, or just say F it and walk out. Not just talent, although there is definitely talent who will be like, "Peace, I'm not coming back." Sami Zayn is the first one out the door too. Not a chance in hell he stays. Others as well. But think about this. So the Saudi Public Fund is the same people who own the Live Golf League or whatever it is, right? LIV, trying to compete with PGA. They got all these big names for it. How many events have anybody seen in America of Live last year, their first year in operation? The answer is 0, because there is no media rights anywhere in the States for any Live event.
Correct.
If they sell to the Saudis for billions of dollars, which they would, who in the States is going to pick up? I mean, it's a political and just entertainment nightmare. I mean, who's going to pick them up? Disney's not going to touch them with a 10-foot pole. Comcast,
Disney's
maybe,
anti-Semitic.
right?
Yeah.
Paramount, I don't know. WB, probably.
Fox won't. Fox definitely won't.
Yeah. So,
I mean, they got a shot with Disney, honestly.
Disney's always been, in my opinion, the best, most logical destination for WWE to go. Even though now they kind of ratchet up the sex appeal a little bit, trying to infuse a little bit of that whole, Attitude Era, but not really, But there's still Disney. I mean, they went PG. It feels like something Disney would have on their platform. Amazon, I could see potentially. And that's,
Well, Amazon's going to probably own the world by 2035.
Well, neither here nor there, but it's another piece of media, right? It's another puzzle in the pie. And Amazon's like, I'll take it. Shit, yeah, right? Sure.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they did that with the NFL, and now they're going all in trying to get sports, right? So here, it makes sense that they'd be involved. But the Saudis now has quickly been. It was the next morning, which was yesterday morning. It's pretty much debunked by everybody that it is not a deal with them in place. They are involved in the talks, though. That, there's nobody in place. There's no deal in principle with anybody right now for the WWE. So where do you think this goes then?
I bet we hear a lot in the next 2 weeks. I give it 2 weeks. I really do. I think in the next 2 weeks we will know, one, if the Saudi thing is legit, or if it's just bullshit rumor just to stir up something to get a Disney or get somebody involved, which I'm tending to believe that's what it is. Yeah. In all reality, I completely think that's,
you make noise so you're heard.
Oh, hey, they're after them, but we can't let that happen. I want them. That whole thing.
Sure.
It's kind of like what OBJ tried to do just recently, and what Deion Sanders actually just did. Like, oh, all these people are after me. Oh, then here comes, Colorado.
Colorado, big money. You're like, oh, thank you.
Exactly. Like, he created the market for himself. I think that's what they're doing right now. They're creating their market, saying that they're 100% on the table to be sold.
Mm-hmm.
So in the next 2 weeks, we'll find out. I believe in my heart of hearts, we will hear a tentative deal within the next 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm. And do you have a prediction for who that will be? Throw it out there.
Disney.
Think it's going to be Disney? Okay. I've long said Disney, and I'm sticking to my guns there. But I'm not going to lie to you. The Saudi thing, it so believable when it came out. Like, I didn't question it for a second. I go, yep, I could see that. I mean,
really? I was the other way. I'm like, that's smoke. That's just smoke.
They already have the big deal to do the Saudi Arabia shows as it is, right?
That's with the prince, though.
I understand, but
that's with the family.
You know, with Saudi Arabia, I can see them being a major player because Saudi Arabia's threw hundreds of millions of dollars at this whole live tournament thing to do the same thing. See him try two WWE. Maybe we'll get a little bit more on that sports fringe, right? The sports entertainment. There's already an established relationship and shows with WWE in Saudi Arabia, so maybe they figure that's a better access to get in. It just, for some reason, I'm like, it didn't come to me as big of a shock as it came to everybody else. It was still a little bit like, huh? But not like a what, you know?
I see what you're saying. I don't believe it.
I think Disney is the apropos. Although I will say Amazon's a dark horse, and if it does be the Saudis, that wouldn't completely shock me.
Hell, the owner of the Broncos, Walton, he's been wanting to get into owning some other big pieces. The owner of Walmart.
Interesting.
So who knows? Like, but Disney just makes too much damn sense.
Disney's about brands. Star Wars, Marvel, WWE. It fits.
It fits them. Yeah,
100%
fits them.
So, you guys have any thoughts on this? Any predictions? Let us know. Because, like I said, it was definitely the talk of the Twitter for a good 72 hours there. So,
Same with Mandy Rose. Her interview. Did you see that?
I caught pieces of it. I didn't actually watch it, but I caught some clips.
Yeah, she was completely surprised that they let her go, and she wasn't even told why they let her go. She actually found out through Twitter and everybody else. Like, it's because of your OnlyFans or Fansly or whatever she's got, Brand Army. Yeah, she found out that way. No one actually told her. Again, spineless.
Go figure. Oh yeah, think about if the Saudis ended up purchasing WWE. Think about what would happen to the women's division.
Yeah, they'd all be in Impact and AEW and Stardom.
Impact's not a bad place to go right now, you know.
Impact is definitely not a bad place to go, and they got a little something coming up.
They got Hard to Kill, so yeah, they got their next pay-per-view is coming up this weekend. The big main event is Josh Alexander defending against Bully Ray, you know, but tons of good stuff they got lined up for it. I have been slacking a little bit on Impact, but that's not to say anything about the product. You know, that's more my schedule more than anything. Impact's been killing it, man. Kylan King's over there now, I know, and it's just like, I mean, Alan Angels, you know, they're kind of revamped since EY left, or they killed EY. I do love how it's like, all right, we're gonna write you out of the story by killing you. Wait, what?
Yeah, yeah, you can never come back.
Oh, it was like a comic book. Of course they can.
Yeah. Wait, this is a different universe now.
Oh,
no,
man.
yeah, Hard to Kill's coming up. I mean, like you said, Bully Ray. I'm looking forward to that. Taylor Wilde going against Deonna Purrazzo. Looking forward to seeing Deonna just beat the bloody piss out of her because Deonna's so God bless him.
I love Deonna.
So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good stuff there with them. Another show that got announced was the Battle of the Valley from New Japan. As of this right here, 2 matches have been announced. But only one match was announced at the time it sold out. And that was Kairi, formerly Kairi Sane, going up against Mercedes Moné, formerly known as Sasha Banks. Holy shit. Sold out.
Doesn't take much. And that's the only confirmed U.S. show for New Japan. So, you know, the thirst is high after Wrestle Kingdom. And boy, does New Japan know how to cash in on that dollar, right? They're like,
man,
boom, tickets on sale right now. And, man, that's San Jose next month. And, I have no idea what else is going to be there. And I really don't care. I'm pretty sure Kenny Omega will be there, of course. And
Bobby Fish is going against David Finlay.
That's the other one that's been announced. Okay.
Yeah, that's on the pre-show. They said that's on the pre-show, so it's not even a part of the main thing. And after I win the Mega Millions, I'll find a way to get scalper tickets because I
get your 1.3 billion.
Yes.
Somebody said to me, it's like, you know what your odds are? People are like, well, you know what your odds are than that? It's like, hey, I got a ticket. My odds aren't 0. They're not good, but who knows? It's a shot, right?
Yeah. I've spent $2 on worse.
Spent a lot more on worse. Let's be honest there.
Anybody have the WWE network? That's my case.
I'm still paying for Peacock. I need to stop.
I got rid of my Peacock.
Yeah. There's actually a few things I want to watch on Peacock. Legitimately want to watch.
Yeah, there's a few things like we've been talking about getting it again, and I'm like, I don't know. I really like Paramount right now, and then of course, here in just a couple days, this is The Last of Us on HBO Max.
I am so excited for that. I've been trying to stay away from any like news or spoilers or anything at all.
Oh, same. I've watched one damn thing.
I've seen the commercials and seen all the trailers and stuff because they're on TV. But whatever. A couple things I did see though is that the show is not going to run past the storyline of the video games.
That's good. That's smart.
I'm very happy for that because I'm thinking, where do they go? Just do 2 seasons or maybe do like 3 seasons stretch, and then, make up something new. And it's like, fuck that, So they're not going to run past the storyline of the video games, which I'm happy for. And
which rumor has it, Last of Us 3 is getting ready to be announced. FYI.
Wouldn't be surprised. It's not going to come out till next year, but
no, it would be perfect timing.
It'd be great timing, Naughty Dog's great like that. The other thing, and I don't feel like this is a spoiler of any sorts, but they didn't want to have they didn't want to spend a lot of time with gas masks on the actors. They felt like it wasn't fair. Don't want to hide Pedro Pascal's pretty face and everything. So the
Mandalorian
tweaked. I don't make shows. I'm just purporting. That's the thought. But they tweaked how from the video game how the virus is transmitted. So it's not necessarily airborne spores, right?
Did you know where a lot of the filming of that show happened?
I do not, but you're gonna tell me.
Kansas City.
No shit.
Yeah.
They filmed some of that here?
Film some here in Kansas City.
How about that?
Because we look like a desolate wasteland. They're going to go to Detroit next.
We'll see how far they go. I mean, the trailer shows them in the snow, so they at least get halfway through the first game, if not further.
Yeah. God, that game was perfect. I might play it again just to get ramped
I
up.
watched a playthrough of the newest remaster, the PS5 remaster. I know you don't have that one, but I mean the game looked great from the start. The first remake looked good. The remaster though on PS5 looks stupid good. I mean the graphics.
Oh, I heard the textures. Yeah, I've seen like things of it. The textures on it is ridiculous and all that, but
it's the same game. It's the same game.
It's the exact same game. Like at least Final Fantasy VII had a little bit of variance. Like I will take a little bit of variance. Like same with Resident Evil 2, a little bit of variance. Resident Evil 4 is getting ready to come out. Mm-hmm. That's got just a little bit of variance. Like I'm cool with as long as it stays like 95%. I would like a little
game is the same, right? It's not changing I think like the biggest thing, like I said, it's just the prettiness of it, which is, I don't have a PlayStation, so I wanted to see, so I just watched some playthroughs on Twitch, and it looks stupid good. But from the trailer, it looks like they also included some of the downloadable, the DLC stuff, the whole, what was it, Ellie's backstory.
Yeah, Ellie and the girl dies.
I can't remember what it was called.
Yeah, I don't remember what it was.
There was like a separate like moniker for what they called the download. But anyway, we're excited for The Last of Us. That's for sure. You guys, I hope you guys are too. Let me ask you this, Jamie, here, since we're kind of going off the rails before we get into AEW a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Besides Last of Us, I know that, you've been amped for the Hogwarts game, which is coming out sometime.
In a month.
Is it coming out in a month? Okay. Besides that, are there any other big media properties you're waiting for this year?
Yeah. Mandalorian, the new season.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I feel like
Of course.
that's a go-to.
I've been so waiting for Mandalorian.
So this is a year of video games for Jamie. So there's a few video games that Jamie must have. Hogwarts is on the list. Hogwarts Legacy. Resident Evil 4 remake. Silent Hill 2 remake. That is definitely going to be in Jamie's possession because that's one of his top games of all time. Like, it's one of my most favorite to play, but it's not one of my best of all time. Does that make sense?
It does.
Like, it's probably a personal favorite, but not on the pantheon of top 5.
Mm-hmm.
Then all the other Silent Hill media stuff that's coming out, like Silent Hill F, some of that stuff. I'm really looking forward to that.
5 games are releasing,
It's definitely a big year in video games for me. And then also, hopefully here in the next about 2 months, roughly, they said, is the new Game Plus for God of War Ragnarok. That will hopefully hold me over after I beat Legacy.
All right.
So yeah, what about you?
I'm Mandalorian. Of course, I'm stupid ready for Mandalorian. I don't really watch as many movies anymore. For some reason, it's like I'm actually behind on Marvel movies, and that never happened. But it just I don't know. Ever since Endgame, I just haven't had the same gusto sticking with them. Maybe it's because there's more digestible things on Disney Plus and other stuff. We got Loki's new season coming out and stuff like, so stuff like that. But definitely The Mandalorian. Since I've gotten back more into gaming here, I definitely am looking forward to a few games this year. A little bit different than Jamie. The game I'm most looking forward to is Silksong, the Hollow Knight follow-up.
Oh God, dude, Hollow Knight pissed me off.
Really?
It's a good game.
I love
but,
Hollow Knight.
Like the whole fanfare of like, oh my God, such an amazing game. It's fine. It's a good game. But are you seriously saying it's a top 5 game of all time? Hell no. Doesn't even have a good story. It's just fun.
I don't know. I think it had a great story.
I'll get the fanfare.
I love Hollow Knight. I'm more of a Metroidvania player anyway. So it suited me more, even though there is a bit of Soulsborne-esque-ness to it with the boss fights the way that they are. But I loved Hollow Knight, and I'm ready for Silksong. I actually re-downloaded Hollow Knight on my Switch, because it was always buggy when I was playing on my computer. So I just got it on my Switch because I'm probably gonna do another playthrough of it before Silksong comes out. I'm excited for that one. I'm really excited just for Starfield.
Mm-hmm.
Really
cool.
I loved the idea of No Man's Sky. And then when the game came out, I didn't buy it. I wanted to see kind of how it went, and I'm glad I didn't. Apparently, it's gotten a lot better since then, which is cool, which is good for the developers.
They actually gave you missions.
Right, yeah, instead of just aimlessly wandering around, and it's like and then I've seen like Claudio streams on Twitch, and he streams 2 games primarily, League of Legends, which I'm like whatever, and Star Citizen, which is a computer game that is way overcomplicated for anything that I would ever play, but it's a really cool sort of futuristic bounty hunter. So it's like a looter shooter, it's like Escape from Tarkov, but in space, if you would,
Okay.
Yeah, but it's like really in depth, and it's interesting. Starfield, I feel, is kind of like the promise of No Man's Sky, with story to it, so a little bit of Halo or whatever you want to put in there. Insert your action space shooter here, right? The world is massive, and I mean, we don't know when it's coming out. It's coming out in 23. That was confirmed. It will be out in 23. They're not including it in Bethesda's preview they're doing at the end of this month. They're doing a separate preview for Starfield shortly thereafter. So still a little bit vaporware-esque on us, but I am super excited for that game as well. So,
You know,
and
yeah, I like the scary shit.
you like this. I know you like the scary shit. Well, Silent Hill 2 remake looks to be, at least from what they've shown, exactly what you're talking about. It is the game from before in modern terms. So,
Yes, with and they did say that there are some tweaks to it.
no tank controls.
No tank controls, obviously. And rumor has it a potential new ending
Ooh.
that you can unlock.
I like having multiple.
Which
endings. Gives it some replayability.
I mean, I played that game, the original one, 5 times.
Okay.
And I only got 3 out of the 4 endings, no matter how hard I tried. I could never get the 4th one. And that's the one where you
have to go
cannot take damage. Yeah, you cannot take damage.
Like in the entire game?
The entire game, no damage.
Is that even possible in the original Silent Hill games?
No. Like,
I mean, not a lick of damage. How? Wow.
Yeah, that's the dog ending. Like the typical one's the drowning ending, which is fine, and then the other one where he just after everything just pops himself, which I'm like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's the dog ending, which is next to impossible.
Well, anybody out there got the dog ending? Let us know. Are you gonna get Fight Forever when it comes out?
Yeah, I'm not even gonna lie. I'm a little gun shy on wrestling games since WWE 2K21. They've been pretty bad since.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I heard our buddy Kev said this one from last year was a lot better, and that's like, okay, that's good. And
is it 22 or 23?
22 is the most recent, I think.
Is it 20? Okay. Yeah. I can get it for free right now. I'm like, I don't know if I want to do it.
Well, I really was only going to get just to create because they had a much more expanded created character thing, you know?
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what they do with it, you know? It's been a while since I've really been into a wrestling game, you know? I've tried a few since college, but I'm interested to see because it looks a little bit different than the typical WWE game, which is what I'm all for. I mean, that's kind of AEW shtick, just a little bit different, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we'll see. And I don't know when it comes out. It's coming out very soon. Speaking of AEW, they had an event last night we could talk about, Jamie.
Hell yeah, we can.
Dynamite in LA. Let's go to Hollywood.
Dynamite was dynamite. Like, second week in a row.
Yeah.
And
23 starting off. It's that new set, man. It did everything.
I kind of, like, at first I was like, I don't know if I like this new set, but, like, I love it now. Like, I'm kind of glad they got rid of the tunnels and they went with the 2 little sides. It's still a heel side and a face side, which perfect. But my God, this again, all gas, no brakes,
no filler, man. There wasn't a lick of filler on this show.
I mean, the only thing that I would say was the filler, the most filler part was the Jericho Appreciation Society and Ricky Starks, which Ricky Starks is just amazing. Love me some Ricky Starks, but we're not gonna spend a whole lot of time on that. I do want to spend a lot of time. We're gonna go out of order, like I usually like to go in order, but not today, ladies and gentlemen. My match of the night. I'm going right there right now. Mm-hmm. My match of the night is Konosuke Takeshita and Bryan Danielson.
Oh, I knew that was going to be your match of the night.
Wow. Like, every time I see Konosuke, I am thoroughly impressed. Every time. Like, how Noah let this kid go just dumbfounds me.
Yeah.
Like I just don't get it. Like, for real. Like, he has got the goods. Like, this match was exquisite. Like, exquisite.
It's I don't know what else. I don't know really to put on there. I mean, we knew it was going to be a banger from the start, right?
I knew it was going to be good, but
Yeah,
it surpassed my expectations.
Danielson, Takeshita, of course it's going to be good, but wow. And here's the thing that really gets me about Takeshita is that he is so over without even trying to be. Literally, the only thing he does is gone out there and just throw out some banger matches. But I think that's why everybody loves him so much, because he's so genuine. It's just like...
He's got Dolph Ziggler disease right now, where...
Sure.
Early Dolph, not steal the show Dolph. Like, early Dolph to get him to become steal the show Dolph.
Mm-hmm.
If everybody remembers that... All Dolph used to do was just banger after banger after banger after banger after banger. Like, all his matches were top tier, like the best match of the night. Every single time. That's what he's got going on for him right now.
Absolutely. I mean, the crowd loves him.
And the crowd is eating it like so hard. Like, that's the thing. Dolph got over because of his matches. And then they put him with Vicky and they did that whole thing.
They did a bunch of different angles. And then,
which I could definitely see them doing the same thing with Konosuke. Like, getting him to a point, getting him a manager, because his English is improving. But obviously, getting him a mouthpiece would probably ascend him to another level. Like, I kind of want him to get the damn TNT title like tomorrow. Like, that's how good of a match this was. Put a belt on him.
There was a lot of people saying that exact statement after this match. It's like, get this man a title now. Give it to him now, right?
Give him and Orange Cassidy for the intercontinental Atlantic,
the All Atlantic,
whatever it's called,
the Fuck the Pacific title.
Yeah, that's kind of funny. He'd win the Atlantic. Yeah, that'd be perfect. But no, that match, by far, the best match. The move of the night was like his variation of the Deadeye into a bridge German suplex was
which he didn't release after Bryan kicked out of the pin. And he did another German suplex. And the crowd just went mind blown at that moment.
My thing is this. Like, he did that variation of the yes kicks with the yes chops, basically. Those chops were so damn loud on my TV. Like, like the beautiful, like, bringing them up slow and then just rearing it back nice and slow. Then what? Like, it's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Those two put on just... He deserves all the Cinnabon he fucking wants. That's all I gotta say about that.
Now he's in America. He can have all the Cinnabon he wants, and I thought this match was fantastic too. I love Takeshita. I think this match was from the start. Like, his matches with Mox were fantastic, but this is the match really that we've been wanting. It's like, oh God, yes, give me that. I'm not putting it match of the night, because I'm a spot monkey, so I've got to put the Escalera de la Muerte as my match of the night, of course.
It would have been if it wasn't only 17 minutes long.
I was surprised they started it. I look at my watch and I'm like, oh, is that are we real? Okay, and then but they crammed a lot in 17 minutes. Oh,
okay. So first off, Bryan Danielson won. But it was amazing. MJF actually cut a killer promo right before that too. And we don't need to talk about that.
In the middle of announcements, it was really good.
Yeah, like Konosuke comes out and then he comes out and he's like, "Konnichiwa, bud." I'm like, "Oh, here we go."
So he called him "Take a Shida."
Take a Shida. Yeah. But yeah. So anyway, MJF, amazing promo, working up this whole he doesn't want to face Bryan Danielson. Yeah. It's perfect. Anyway, Escalera de la Muerte. If it wasn't for that damn Bryan Danielson, Jesus, and Takeshita match,
the guy from Washington, the hippie dude, yes, him.
Yeah, if it wasn't for that, this easily is match of the night.
I mean, the first Escalera de la Muerte was at All Out 2019. So it was at a pay-per-view. It was like 40 minutes of just, you're never going to recreate it, you know?
The greatest ladder match I've ever seen.
And one of the best tag matches I'm putting up there, you know? Two of the best tag matches were Young Bucks and Lucha Bros, but...
And we get to see one of them live.
Well, you're not going to recreate that magic. And I'm glad they didn't try to. Kept it at under 20 minutes, you know, a TV-friendly version. But my God, the spots that happened in this TV-friendly version. And I mean, there was everything. This was all go, no filler as well. This, like, Danielson Takeshita, the pace, it was technical, but so you had this pacing to it, and the way they, you know, Takeshita got the rise in the match, and then at the crescendo, and then this was just like, fucking go!
Yeah. You want to go through a table? All right, you're going through a table. You want to go through a table? You're going through a table.
You want Alexander Hunte's knocking somebody off a ladder spot? Cool. Awesome. Brandon Cutler coming
in the eyes. Yeah.
Cool, right? Follow that up with a Canadian destroyer on. You know, they just went to town on this thing. You know,
One Wing Angel off of the top of the ladder. Let's go
off of the ladder bridge and
off the ladder bridge.
Follow it up with a Falcon or Black Arrow, whatever. Yeah, Black Arrow that just barely got his knees up, and then Kenny Omega ascends and gets the belts for the victory. I mean, it was all go, no filler, and I loved every second of it.
Yeah.
Every second.
It was what Mark Stradamus foretold over a month ago, but, you know, not to revel in the fact that I was correct.
I just gave you a quick stamp. You're not getting a long stamp.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
It was not hard to piece together, no offense.
It was not. I mean, the fact that I called everything.
The fact that you called the stipulations so goddamn early was like, wow. Yeah. That's why you got a stamp.
Yeah. Well, you know, I got Dave Meltzer on speed dial, so, you know,
sure
it is what it is. You know, we're getting coffee tomorrow.
So I love this, you know. Every match, though, was fantastic. You know, I think that the women's match was really good.
So I do want to talk about the women's match.
All right, let's talk about women's next.
So the women's match, for me, was perfect. And I'll tell you why. It wasn't necessarily the match itself. It was the ambiance of said match.
Okay.
So I do want to talk about Toni Storm, because she seemed like she was really pissed off. Like,
she had
coming
like
out
an
to the ring.
edge to her, yeah.
She definitely had like heel tendencies. So like, I feel like there's a swing coming. But the thing that got me the most, this is the thing that got me.
All right.
Was Britt and Jamie both wore red and white.
Okay.
And that's very, very important to me, because do you remember when Mercedes Moné made her debut?
I do.
You know what color she was wearing?
She was wearing white.
And?
I must guess red. I don't remember the color.
That is correct.
Okay.
Yes, she's wearing red and white. So they did a variation of their stuff in the colors that she was wearing.
She dropped a "I'm the boss of this company" last week on her promo. Long game, they're playing Monet Britt.
Yeah. Well, you still got the Saraya thing. So this is what I think is happening. I think that they are going to do a complete switch.
Okay.
Jamie's over. Like,
over
the people love Jamie. I love Jamie. You love Jamie. Everybody loves themselves some Jamie Hayter.
Mm-hmm. Sure do.
Turn her face, because she's basically a face anyway.
Okay.
Toni wasn't really being very facey, was she?
She was not being facey.
With some of the things that she was doing. Sprinkle in Shida doing some heel shit, acting like, oh no, I accidentally threw that in there, when I totally threw it right to the only person who could get the damn thing. But whatevs. Like, you know, oh right. I know it's kayfabe, whatever. But, you know, there's that. I full on believe that Shida and Toni are gonna turn heel. Jamie turns face, maybe even with Britt, and then you get heel Paige, which is heel Saraya, which is honestly one of the best Sarayas.
Okay.
The good old switcheroo.
I hear you. The heel Brit or the face Brit kind of is like,
But she could still be her.
She could.
Like, that's the thing.
Her and Jamie a little bit too because of her. They toe the line anyway, right? You know, a little bit.
Mhm.
So I hear you. I'm for it. I could see that happening. Okay.
Because
Then you bring in Monet then to side with them against Saray, Toni, and Shida.
here no.
No. Saray, hold on, no. Because then you'll have, back up. So you're saying Shida with Britt and Hayter.
I say Shida and Toni. So this is what I'm saying.
There's too many bodies here.
You.
Okay, all right.
Too many timelines. Which Professor X, McAvoy or? So okay, this is what I'm saying. You have Jamie and Britt become face.
Got that.
Okay. Then you have Shida and Toni go heel.
Got that.
Then Saraya, I want her to go heel with them. So then basically both sides legit just do a little swap-a-roo.
Total just swap-a-roo. And then you bring in
Mercedes Moné, because here's the thing. Mercedes Moné at New Japan, at Stardom, was a heel. She came in as a heel. You can't have her be a face here, heel there.
Absolutely.
Like, it's on the same timeline, guys. Like, you know, she's only got one Infinity.
I hear you.
You know, so like that's the best way, because then you could get Mercedes Moné going against Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. You know, right there. Or you could have her do a tune-up against Ruby Soho.
Hey, Ruby.
Got you. Try to take care of you.
Tune-up against Ruby. Whatever. I don't know. And there's some speculation that she's hesitant to kind of make the full commitment to the AEW because she doesn't want to make the full commitment. I don't know if I buy that. I think that, you know,
I don't either.
I think her mind's made up. It's just a matter of timing.
Revolution's a hell of a time.
I think you're right. I agree with you. Because
she was a part of a women's revolution.
And I agree. And I agree with you on the keeping the face and the heel, you know, across that. Because I do really like the idea of her being the one to come in and to dethrone Jade. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Propel that into a different, you know, level than where it is now. But Jade's not going to be a face anytime soon. So you'd have to make Sasha face on that. Or Mercedes face on that. And I hear what you're saying. And it does make more sense to put her in the top picture for sure. So
yeah, like I love the idea of her taking off Jade, but it's like the Intercontinental Championship for women on for WWE, basically.
It is.
And Sasha Banks
it's meant to be.
But she ain't no Intercontinental Champion.
Right, but you know, wrestling companies have known to do that in the past. You know, you got you're bringing back, you know, your big guy, or your big figure, give them a run on the lower belt first before you move them into the top belt. You know, just kind of.
I appreciate that.
Belt.
But with that women's division dying for some serious star power to legitimize it, because it is a good women's division now, it came a long ass way from the first time we started talking about it. It just needs that thing to push it over the edge, and Saraya is helping. I think, you know, Mercedes would get them over the hump to be legitimate, because they got future stars like Willow Nightingale and things like that. Like, I love me some Willow. Like.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they put the belt on Jamie, for God's sake. Jamie, their champions right now are Jamie Hayter and Jade Cargill, right? You know, so they've got it in there.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yes.
Let's save the big moment for last. Other matches were good though. Hangman Mox opened the night.
Well, hold on before we get to Hangman Mox.
You want to save that? Okay, all right.
Because it kind of ties into the last little piece.
All right.
For
the
me,
only other match
anyway.
there was the Hook, Jungle Hook.
Yeah, it was Hook and JBJP. I'm making that stick.
Yeah, no, you're not.
I know I'm not.
Just like Jungle Hook. I hate the amalgamation of names for everything. You don't have to do
Jungle Hook.
Hookhausen, and then now it's Jungle Hook, and it's like you don't have to just attach Hook's name to whatever the other person's gimmick
Hook
is.
Boy. Yeah, but anyway, so Jungle Hook, whatever you want to call it, going up against Lee Moriarty and Big Bill. Terrible
name.
This match was fine. I mean, the highlight of the match definitely was the suplex on Big Bill by Hook. Like, that was pretty damn impressive.
That was good looking.
I mean, Bill may or may not have completely jumped into it, but whatever.
Gotta sell. That's how you sell.
It was fine. That was a fun match. It was a good break, if you ask me, because it was the pretty boy time. Like, that's all it was. We got the ladies happy.
Well, like I said, it's like they had everything in this. There was no real downtime in the show, and this was just another good example of, playing the right stroke. And it wasn't a bad match at all. It wasn't a squash. It was a filler of sorts, but I thought it was perfect. So there's that, and then there's only one other match. The match that opened the night,
and that match was great. Again, like that match had the intensity. It had everything you wanted. The only thing with it for me, to be completely honest, was the ending of it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping it was legit, but it didn't seem like it was very legit to me. It didn't
feel like it. No.
Where Hangman won, but then afterwards, Jon Moxley acted like he had a concussion or he was concussed in some way. And I'm hoping it's real, because if it's not, I feel like that's done in bad taste. I really do.
Okay.
I'm not gonna go to the hyper Zennial or whatever they're called now. Like, I'm offended. I'm not gonna go to that level. I'm a Gen Xer, like, it's fine, but it was just in bad taste because literally, Hanger's whole thing, he was concussed. He was legit concussed, like the match ended because of his concussion.
They said it. They haven't shied away from saying that's what it was either.
Yeah,
I appreciate them saying.
And then this, which ties us right into what happened right after.
Yeah.
Which made this, if it was a work, it made this look really shitty because the next thing after that, like, dude was out 6 months.
I'm with you. They had Doc Samson in there, and is this a way to write him off TV to give him his vacation finally? Probably. And if so, okay. But I'm with you. The timing of it, especially considering what happened next. So, if you
let's get right into it. So, Tony Schiavone's going to do an interview. And he goes, I have no joy in bringing this person to you. As soon as he said that, I automatically thought MJF. Honestly.
It's got to be MJF.
And then you hear, it's all about the boom. And that place went ape shit. And not only that place, my house went ape shit. Like, I'm like, oh shit, he's back. Like, yes.
Surprised the living shit out of everybody. I saw a thing on well, we'll talk about that here. Yeah, go for it.
So he comes out, and of course, very first thing, who's ready for story time with Adam Cole, baby. And it was great to see him, and he opened up about everything. He talked about riding in cars for 15 minutes and things like that. Really talked about his concussion. Like, he had 2 serious concussions in a row. He had that shoulder, so like he was able to completely heal up. All that is very heartfelt, very real. It felt very, very real. And then he said it was good news, bad news. Good news is, he's healthy and all this stuff. Bad news isn't his bad news. It's the bad news for the locker room because Adam Cole's
Oh,
back, baby, and he's coming and then he's gonna be the king of the mountain someday. Just remember, this is the new Adam Cole.
right.
And
He's
again, remember
setting it up. Mm-hmm.
when I said he was coming back, I think it was maybe last week or the week before.
Yeah.
He's gonna come back as a face. And
Well,
I fucking called it again.
he needs to. I mean, there's no.
I mean, that's an easy one.
The Elite are doing their own separate thing as they're got going on, right? Kyle O'Reilly's still out for, I think it says it's going to be a year for his surgery, to fully heal and all that. Bobby Fish is gone, so he doesn't have that. It's got to be, and everything about this was fantastic. And, having him come back, there wanted to be a big splash. And we all assumed that the LA show, the big splash is going to be Mercedes Moné or something like that. Adam Cole satisfied that splash requirement and then some, What I found hilarious, though, is the way apparently he surprised literally everybody. Well, maybe not Britt, but literally everybody. Like one of the chauffeur Boz, he's one of the drivers.
Yeah, Boz,
yeah. He had posted on there when you have to sneak Adam Cole in so nobody sees it. He did a selfie in his like Suburban, and Adam Cole was like with a hoodie over his face and everything in the back seat on the floorboard, lying down as they were driving into the arena. So literally snuck in. Adam Cole, made it sound like he was going to do his Twitch today, and then something came up, and he is this and that, and so they played it off perfectly. It was almost as good a surprise as when he showed up. Maybe even a better surprise than when he first debuted. The debut was fantastic, but I'm glad he's back. I think this gives those yammering about the direction of the big picture of AEW. Now we've got a crutch that we could stand on against them, because Adam Cole will be thrust into the major title picture before end of year, right? You can work some angles with him ahead of that, and I think if it ends up coming down to Cole MJF, my God, those promos. I mean, my God.
Those promos will be electric. And I think he would be a perfect candidate for All Out. To your point, he would be the perfect candidate.
I think so.
But man, like, it's just great to see him back. Like, really worried about him. Glad he's back and healthy.
I know.
Hopefully it stays. And he's very smart about it. Hopefully no more fatal four ways for him for a little bit, because both times he's in it, both times he got jacked up.
Let's protect that head. So fantastic. It was a great night of Dynamite. Good direction for AEW too moving forward. I really think.
I completely agree. I think they're setting up some good storylines that we will have plenty to go off of, and they have plenty of directions that they can go off of heading into Revolution. They're keeping doors open. It's very very smart, man. Like, very well done. And with the uncertainty of another company at this point, they're definitely a great one to continue watching. Impact's another great one to start watching. New Japan, of course, is always good to watch.
I mean, yeah. I think that's my bigger takeaway from everything. The almost perfect response to the utter shit show that was news out of Stamford, Connecticut, was AEW kind of shoring their future up a little bit. Good show. It was the perfect AEW show in a manner of speaking, because it had fantastic matches, but there wasn't. I mean, so there was. The focus was on the wrestling, but there was a lot of good stuff that went with that. And that included bits of direction. MJF's promo, Adam Cole being back, the extra stuff they're doing around the women, right? Some of that stuff. So I think it's great. I think you're right, though. I think that Because a lot of people are like, hey, if WWE goes to Sally's, I'm never watching them again. I was talking to a dude on a stream I was watching last night, or 2 nights ago, rather. And that's what he was saying. And I'm like, turns out he's a big New Japan stan. I'm like, fantastic, And then he's like really into GCW. I'm like, cool. Here's some other thoughts for you, right? You got Impact Wrestling, AAA, I love. New Japan has been killing it. Stardom has been killing it. Please give me
Stardom's
Julia.
ridiculous. Stardom is ridiculous.
Please give me Julia versus Jamie Hayter sometime before I die. Please.
It's already happened.
I know, but I want them both as champions to happen.
Okay.
Anyway, there's lots of other good options out there. So
lots of great options. Also, I forgot to mention this earlier. Speaking of options. Kota Ibushi. Haven't heard that name in a hot minute, right?
Not for a little bit.
His contract is set to expire at the end of January of 2023. And he has said disparaging remarks about New Japan. And
disparaging, that's putting it a little lightly, but okay.
He has been on the record to say that he would love to be a stablemate of some current AEW stars, including one Adam Hangman Page. And that's recent.
Give me a Bushi. Yeah. Bushi opens doors all over the world, literally. So
the problem with him, though, here's the problem, though. If he does go to AEW, that might be a problem for New Japan.
Yes, that will be. I don't know, though. I think it's all in how it's done, right?
I bet if Tony goes, hey, he wants to come to us.
This dude, his contract's expiring. He's going to be out there. If he's with us, we're cool. You still got a shot to kind of bring it back around to you guys.
Yeah, and we will not have him in the Forbidden Door pay-per-views unless you say it's okay.
Right. Almost like, hey, we'll be his caretaker while he's over here.
yeah, he's on us.
Whatever
he says is on us.
That's the pitch you put out there.
Yeah.
All right. Well, lots of good stuff coming forward here, so we're definitely interested to see what happens with that. We're looking at doing some wrestling shows coming up here in February as well, so keep an eye out there. I do want to say a quick word. I do know that we talked about Journey Pro last week. It was their last show and everything, and it was interesting. Almost immediately after that show, there was a big flood at the KCK Armory where the other promotion town CSW stores their stuff. I did find it very telling, some of the differences between the way Journey Pro handled things and the way they handled things. Just gonna leave it at that. But we're looking at doing some other local shows, semi-local, a little bit of drive for us. So if you guys got any recommendations for anything, I said within close driving distance, Kansas City, anything Missouri, Kansas, Iowa, Nebraska, Oklahoma, let us know. We're open for any independent wrestling that, as long as they don't completely forget that women exist. So, do you have anything else you wanted to add this week, Jamie?
No. That was a lot to go over, man. I'm thinking about Jesus, we did talk about.
We didn't have a ton of stuff to really talk about, but we did, in that, little bit. So,
yeah.
All right. Well, hey. Same bat time, same bat channel next week, folks. Once again, follow, subscribe, share, all the stuff down below. Leave a comment or get us up on Twitter at Total Spotfest. We'll be back next Thursday. See what's going on. If the wrestling world has calmed down at all, I don't feel like it. I feel like 23 is going to be. I just have this feeling there's going to be all sorts of stuff going on in 23.
Yeah, if I had a crystal ball, I do have a crystal ball, but it's right now it's foggy. This year, I feel like, ladies and gentlemen, buckle up. This is gonna be a wild ass ride for professional wrestling.
We're here to take it with you, though. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you for listening. We do appreciate you guys giving us your time. We truly do. And we will see you next week. Jamie, take us home.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you're not down with Total Spotfest, I got one word for you. Boom.
See you next week, guys.
Peace.